In my mind, number one, I feel like Philippines would be the highest. I feel like Philippines has a really good reputation. I'm sorry to you guys. A stereotype of the Indian accent is helping you fix device.
So sorry, Singapore.
Maybe not all of them, but I've heard a lot of different accents from a lot of different Asian countries, especially today. So to me, they all sound, for the most part, different. But today, I want to see if we can figure out who is who. At least by like the American standard, we don't really hold people to a standard of perfection, at least where I'm from. But I do notice that people from Asian countries, when they learn English, they try really hard to speak it as perfectly, as close to textbook English as possible. That's what I've noticed a lot. You guys really study hard. Like from the top, like who's the most fluent to like who's maybe like the least. Okay, it's hard. In my mind, number one, I feel like Philippines would be the highest. I'm sorry to you guys, but yeah. And I think number two would be India, number three, Singapore, number four, Hong Kong. But like, honestly, to me, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Malaysia are so like almost on the same level. Yeah, I think maybe like 3 Singapore, 4 Hong Kong, 5 Malaysia, 6, Vietnam is really good too. Usually they study really well. So I think 6 Vietnam, 7 South Korea. South Korean people, when they speak English, they have to overcome a lot of pronunciation obstacles. Number 8 would be Thailand. Number 9, Japan. Number 10, China. But I think overall these countries do a really good job with like learning English and pronouncing it. It's just, they're so close together, honestly. I ranked it by fluency. I feel like people in the Philippines know like every English word. And the way that they pronounce it, like she pronounces just like the American style. So to me, Philippines is the closest to American style pronunciation.
So sorry, Singapore. I would say it's subjective to how one is being upbringing is dependable on that factor. I feel like maybe the ranking is because that the entire nation, like everyone really uses English a lot, like across every race. And
No, not really. There are two kinds of schools. One is we use English to teach our mathematics or history, and one is using Cantonese to teach these subjects. Yeah.
Singlish is how I would imagine people think like a Chinese accent sounds like, at least in America. And so actually, I can understand everything. Yeah, as you said, depending on the mother tongue, Singlish can actually be different. I never even thought about that. The Tagalog accent in English can be seen as a little bit more like aggressive sounding. The Tagalog accent with English is it's really clear. But also, I know a lot of people like in Korea go to the Philippines to learn English. And so because of that, I feel like Philippines has a really good reputation for knowing English and teaching English. Even though like Singapore has a lot of high ranking, I think that Philippines should be higher than that one. But Singapore also takes a lot of like money and time in learning English too. So it's difficult to truly rank it, I think.
It's because Singapore, I used to work in a company. I'm from the HR. Human resource. So whenever there's an applicant and you're working for or you're applying for a multinational company, they would give you their ranking of, the English proficiency grade. So I think growing up, they are preparing themselves to have those examinations to assess their English. So yeah. In the Philippines, we basically follow the American English, and we watch all the television, the shows, the movies in English, so we don't need the subtitle. Most of our subjects were taught in English rather than Filipino or Tagalog. So yeah, I think that influenced the English speaking proficiency of Filipinos. Yeah.
I think Malaysia, it depends on how the person grow up. Some people, they come from an English-speaking family. Some people, they are they speak Malay at home, some people speak Chinese at home. For my case, I went to a Chinese speaking school when I was in primary school. So I think it really depends on the environment.
Is like she's using a lot of the proper, like trying to use as much proper articles as possible, like they and the, at, on, in. That's what really stands out to me. When I hear like someone from like Korea or Japan or China speaking English, they don't have those articles in their languages, and so it's hard to remember to use those when speaking English.
In Hong Kong, we actually learn English when we are in kindergarten, and there are Chinese school and English school. So in English school, we will learn mathematics, science, or other subjects or by English.
A lot of people, like in America, if you have a problem with like your Samsung device or any kind of like technological device, you call the call center and it's someone from India. But then it sounds like the vowels and the consonants are a little bit more quickly spoken.
Actually, we have a lot of languages, it's 200 plus. So no blame to Indians because they're already learning 3 languages from childhood, like from the kindergarten. So it's a lot of pressure for languages and for other subjects like science, maths, and like social science, everything.
So I really think that Philippines and India are kind of like still at the top. So today I try to rank everyone from their country based on their fluency and pronunciation in English. Bye!